Good morning, Professor. Today I will explain both assignments 5 and 6. So let's start with assignment number 5. Here is my project. I will start explaining from assignment from script race manager. Here in race manager script, we create reference to our player car. Public car control player car is our reference to our player car. Then next here we create reference to the AI cars, and instead of creating an array we created a list variable because it is probably will be more easy to configure for another races than arrays. I mean, in different races we will have different list of cars. And here public int player position to display the position of the car. In the update function, yes, here in this line we display we created player position equal 1 to display the position of the car as a default equal 1. So we have 3 different cases: case 1, case 2, and case 3 for the position of the car. These different cases we display player position. We consider 3 different cases. For example, by default our position will be equal 1, as I said here, and then by different cases we will increase it. This number will be increasing in different cases. For example, if the AI car is bigger left than the player car, we increase the player position. Here we know that AI is fast, so we increment this value. We increment this value the position of the player car. If we are on the same lap, the second case, if we are on the same lap, write the AI car. If we are on the same lap with the AI car, then we compare the number of checkpoints. If the AI car has bigger number of the checkpoints than the player car, then we also increment this value here, player position plus plus. And the last case, if we are on the same point, of a checkpoints, so we are moving between the same checkpoints with the AI cars, then we compare distance to the next checkpoints. Here we compare distance to the next checkpoints. If the AI car is closer to the next checkpoint, so we also increment this value. Let's go to UI control script. We added a new text variable, position text. Yes, position text. And here we get access to the script UI control. Let's test if it is working or not. Alright, we go to race manager script. We added new variables here. Public float AI full speed, we define the full speed. Player default speed, the player default speed is the maximum speed, speed variance, and the acceleration. In update function, here we manage speed variance. We have two cases, the first case and the second case. In the first case, if we are winning, I mean the car game has player the car position, the player car position has position equal 1, then we will make the player car move slower and the cars move faster here. Okay, and in the second case, or in another case, if we wanna catch up some cars, we modify its speed, the speed of player car. If the player car is the last car, we add to it the full speed that we defined here, the full speed here. We add it the full speed, and if it is the second one, we adjust partial speed to it, and the same to the AI cars here. Okay, so if we tested our car game, okay, in the race manager script, here we created the variable public pool is starting to detect whether we started the race or not. Then we create public float time between start counts. The time between or the gap between the counter 3 2 1 for starting race will be just 1 second, and then we create a start counter to count things, and here we created public int countdown current equal 3. We start here we define from where we start to count. We will start to count from 3. Here in the start function, by default is starting as a c equal true. So here in void update, if it is starting by default, of course, start counter will count time delta time. If start counter is less than or equal 0, it will count down 3. If it is 3 by default, 2 1, it will count down. And if countdown current is equal to 0, the race is starting equal false. And here is the two cases. uh, and also we wrote this in the canvas here, position and the position counter in the canvas here. So let's test. One. uh, okay. um and we also add some changes to car control script. In fixed update, sorry, first in the void update, here if does not raise manager instance dot is starting, here we added the inversion sign, and then things will happen. And we also added it here to the fixed update. In the script UI control, we added those new variables for the canvas, to add those to the canvas, and to start counting this from starting from the beginning, starting our game. There is manager script. um, we added those lines is starting equal true, start counter equal time between start count, and UI dot instance dot count test dot text equal countdown dot countdown dot to string. Here those to start counting down from starting the race. And here we create a new script, disable over time, and here in we define bubble float from time to disable. The time of disable is 0.5f, and in the void update, if time to disable equal time to delta time, if time to disable less than or equal 0, so game object dot set active will be false. Those lines for in running our game. Those 3, 2, 1 and go, those will disappear after starting the race, right? In car control script, the last thing I think in this assignment, um, well, here if the input dot key down key code dot r reset to the track, and also this uh, Yes, void reset to the track. um, um, uh, Here, int point to go to equal next checkpoint -1. Here this function, those both functions. If car, for example, lost somewhere on the track, this function just to reset it again to the track by clicking the arrow button in the keyboard. And I think that's all for assignment number 5. And then I will start assignment number 6. At first, we noticed that the cars were trying to hit only the center of a checkpoints to go to another checkpoint. So now we change it in car control script. In public checkpoints, yes, here if checkpoint number equal current checkpoint, here we increment the target and randomize all of the targets here. Okay, and in public void lab completed, we add the additional statement. If current lab is less than or equal race manager, here then we do counting and also displaying our time. Else if it is not AI here, otherwise if we are still in the race, mean that current lab less or equal to the total course. Otherwise, if we finish the race for our car, if it is AI, we will make it not AI, as you see here. It will be controlled as similar as AI cars and the same full speed, same format, same time. In race manager script, we add additional pool variable, public pool race completed, and also we add we create additional function public void finish race, race completed equal true. After we finish the race, it will be equal true. And also in car control, when we finish the race, we call this function race manager.instance.finish race. And also we added a panel in canvas. Yes, position panel. No way. Yes, we added panels uh, after finishing the lab, uh, okay. um, in UI control script, here we add new function and a new variable race result test, and also public object result uh, result screen. And in race manager, here we use the switch function. We have some cases. In the first case, if I am the first, it will print the first. If I am the second, it will print the second. If I am the third, it will print the third, and so on. UI control dot instance dot race result text, the text equal you finished plus the position plus th. Okay, UI control dot instance dot result dot set active will be true. Okay, and we made a new scene. uh, yes, new scene here, main menu screen. When we finish the race or exit the race, it will show us main menu, play the game or quit the game. To switch between scenes, we created a script called main menu script. Okay, we added new namespace using Unity Engine scene management, and using Unity Engine. Yes, and here we defined public string level to load. This is our game, and public string main menu. This is our main menu. Then we created function void public void start game. When we start the game, we want to open this scene that we call the level to load, and the function back to main menu when we want to quit the game, and quit the game, the function of quit the game, uh, to uh, to make the game stop, or game quit, application dot quit, print the game quit. And then we create other panels for resume, pause, and quit game. Here is panels pause menu, here it is. And then in UI control script, we add game object pause screen, and the public and the define variable public pool is pause. And here in void update, this function we will control pressing of the escape key if the button dot key if input dot key down key code dot escape, so it will pause unpause. And here another function, public void pause unpause. If it is paused equal not is paused. Pause screen dot set active is paused. If is paused, time scale is 0, else time scale is 1. Okay. I think that's all. I will show how it is working, or I think to show you uh, my game. Wait a second. Here's my game, here's my logo. Made with Unity. Here's main menu scene, play. Game if I wanted to play. Race game, and that's all for the day, and thank you for listening, and goodbye.